Going through and reading the book of Jeremiah, there's a lot of similarities between then, several thousand years ago, and today. We still ask the same question today. Why do all these wicked people prosper? And everybody that tries to do good, the lowly people, um, everything seems to go wrong with them. They can't pay their bills. They struggle. They suffer. They lose their houses and inheritance and pay taxes out the wazoo and have such a hard time even surviving, especially if you decide to do things the right way. Meaning you don't cheat on your taxes to get more money. You don't cheat your boss out of hours and try and get more money. You live with a conscious awareness of right and wrong and try your best to do right. And it seems as if you struggle more than all those that don't. And what's worse is, these people do some of these evil and wicked things, nothing ever seems to happen to them. They never get in trouble. They never get caught. And when they do, it's a slap on the wrist. How many times have we seen politicians, caught being dirty, taking money and bribes, and they get slaps on the wrist? And, if one of us common folk did something similar, would have been in jail yesterday for decades. It's such a bad crime if one of us does it, but if one of them does it, they get away with it or get this admin slap on the wrist and a fine or something. And the same was happening then. It seems to be a tale as old as time. But God sees. God's aware. Nobody's pulling a fast one over God. Just because you appear to be prospering doesn't mean that you will in the end. Because remember, when people pray, sometimes God says no. Because if God always answered yes to everything we prayed, we'd never grow. But at the same time, the blessings, the things that we asked for, if God told us yes for everything, those very things could be the thing that destroys us, that leads us away from God and ultimately to eternal damnation, rejection of God, no need for God. Why? Because I have everything I want. What do I need God for? I'm rich and have need of nothing, but you don't know that you're poor, blind, naked, wretched. That's one of the hardest things, especially with a child. You spoil them. God can spoil his children. Sometimes it's not God. Sometimes the devil gives you everything you want, so you have no need of God. So if you're not experiencing hardships, you really should question why. The same thing as being a Christian and actually living by the Bible. If there's no friction between those people and you that are around you, then you're probably compromising or not speaking. We're called to be different, and the truth divides naturally. Jesus didn't come to bring peace, but a sword to divide. Something to think about.